Hi, welcome to Laura's View and Tarot 2. I am so glad you're here. Today's date is Sunday, May 4th, 2025. And this is the one time a year when we can say, May the 4th be with you. Although I want the force to be with you always, as long as it's positive and light-filled. Before I get into today's topic, this is a home production, and that means sometimes you get a little home anecdotes added into what I do. I am pleased to announce that I am going to have to start once again saying I have to move a cat. Let me show you what's going on, okay? I'm going to switch the cameras. I would if I was already working with the cards. And you can see that 13-week-old Sparkle is sound asleep where I plan to do the tarot read. I thought about trying to do it right in here because she is really out. Um, but if she stirs and bothers the cards, it hurts the whole video because I never stop my video once I start working with the cards. So anyway, we've got a little one who's sound asleep. She's been playing hard all day. Follows me from room to room and very people-y. I like that. I like that. So as you can tell from the title of the video and the thumbnail that I'm doing, we are going to be exploring the probable, not just possible, hidden meaning and communication that was involved with the fact that President Trump on Truth Social and then the official White House social media site posted a picture of President Trump wearing papal regalia, and the left, which doesn't take them much, those with TDS, went unhinged and said it was tacky, which I tend to agree, but I also know there's more going on than tact and decorum anytime something is posted by President Trump. And then the right said, hey, it's just a classic Trump troll. And I thought, no, there's more to it than that, because I do believe that President Trump realizes there are people that aren't awake and are grieving as they have for generations whenever there's a major change going on, a loss of a figurehead for the Catholic Church. And so I don't think he did this lightly. That was my thought originally, right away. Then I looked a little deeper, and today I saw an article on AMG News, which I will pop to quickly in the share screen. And then there is a content creator that I follow on the X platform that had a really good summary that I tended to agree with. But hey, we're going to see if the tarot card agrees with us as far as what's going on with the messaging involved with that particular social media post. So let me take you to the share screen real quickly, and I'll show you a couple of the items I referenced already. So AMG News said Trump's papal strike, how the deep state Vatican just lost its throne, its gold, and its secrets. This was never a meme, it was a message. And I'm not going to read the whole article. I'm scrolling. If that bothers you, look away, because I'm just going to go that image was a declaration of conquest. Okay, now MJ Truth Ultra. If you don't follow him on the X platform, I suggest you do. He's got some really good content, wide awake, and um, just recommend him highly. Okay, Trump posted himself as the Pope. My thoughts and his connection to Q. He mentions how quite often in the 17 posts, the Godfather 3 is mentioned, and if you remember the plot of Godfather 3, the Mafia boss is discovering the Vatican Bank ties to organized crime, symbolizing real-world allegations of money laundering by the Vatican and globalist elites. So that was the kind of the plot going with Godfather 3. And so you can read that. Okay, he's saying that the meme was not meant to be funny. It was a messaging, strong messaging that he is saying that he ended the evil power structure that was located out of the Vatican and took over the Vatican Bank. So, which is good things for us regular humans. Okay, there are London, the Vatican, and Washington, D.C. were kind of city states that have had um, power that wasn't wielded with humanity's interests, but about control and enrichment. And part of this journey that we as humans are on from dark to light means abolishing those control centers, that programming, that relegation of humans to debt slaves and non-sovereign beings. So let's see what the universe wants to know. We're going to ask for some insights and information. I would like to layer in a yes or no element to this question because that's always fascinating to see if the universe wants to give us a strong indication or if it's more subtle. But we're just going to ask for insights and information about this social media meme that I've referenced in this video, as well as is it accurate that it wasn't simply trolling, but there was messaging going on about um, dark to light happening in the Vatican? That'll be our yes or no element. I'm going to switch the camera, regretfully move a little kitten, and we will find out what the universe wants us to know together. So Sparkle has been successfully moved to a chair that's got a teddy bear. So she's snuggling up. Did you know if you want a sleeping kitten to be moved and not wake up, if you don't let their paws drop down, they remain asleep and you can sometimes move them quite gently and they don't really get disturbed. So I learned that from my wonderful daughter who was a vet technician for many years and considered to be a kitty whisperer. So she would save the kittens no one thought could be saved. Now, don't want that to be what the cards talk about, so let's refocus here. We are asking the universe a yes or no element to this question. This Trump social media post showing him in papal regalia, was that a message about the Vatican indeed um, being going from dark to light, plus additional insights and information the universe might want to share about the messaging or information that might have been involved with that social media post? Okay, we've got the Eight of Cups, Knight of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles. Oh, 10. Yep, the messaging was absolutely what it's been theorized about by MJ Truth Ultra and AMG News. Then we have lots of pentacles showing up, the Vatican golds being hinted at here. We've got the Four of Pentacles, another four with the Four of Wands and King of Swords. We'll get additional cards to see what other messaging might be involved with this social media post and the tie into current events, both announced and subtle. So the Eight of Cups, okay, I thought that was a little unusual to show up here. First of all, our cups are our emotions. So even though I've Trump knowingly was doing a volatile social media post for those who aren't awake, that it would be considered tacky or that he would be seen to be, just out of touch with what's going on in the world. But it was very important to him to do this messaging that went out because he messages both sides of the aisle. Remember, if you're awake, and often, before we were awake, we weren't aware of how much messaging was happening in our world through symbolism, movie titles, covers, things like that, wardrobe choices in movies, wording choices in scripts, you name it. We just weren't aware. Well, we've become aware and we use it now to do our own signaling or counter signaling and what have you. So it was a deliberate communication. Absolutely, even though the subject was one that could cause some genuine heartfelt emotion on the part of people seeing it. And again, it was a very thought out strategy as part of the strategy of letting the world know, letting the deep state know, hey, we've made more inroads and more changes, and we are going from dark to light, and we're going to start telling people about it at first subtly and then we're going to be doing some announcements. So hold on to your britches, guys. Okay, in the recent past, we have the Six of Pentacles. This card just talks about being careful with resources, some generosity involved, and just I think the messaging here was to let them know that we've been generous as far as giving um, time and space and opportunities for people to make changes. So there's been generosity involved with what the White Hats have done. They haven't, when they have had a success, it hasn't involved undue loss of life. And again, there have been, and the 17 posts confirm this, that there's times that people were given the chance to choose rightly. Okay, and I think that's what this is referring to here. But yeah, here's our Ten of Swords is saying absolutely. Even it was strategic, and it's an ending. It's an ending. There's transformation coming on. Now this, let's look at the near future and then insights. Near future, we've got some more. Um, I think a caution here for us, if even if we truly believe that the Vatican gold has been um, removed from places and purposes that weren't that involved crimes against humanity, etc. Don't expect big changes in your pocket this week, this month, what have you. But again, there is an ongoing effort to be careful, first of all, with those, to not use it for purposes that don't align with the greatest possible good. And that's confirmed here with the Four of Wands, which talks about agreements and working together, and it's a great stability card, a stability card. So again, well thought out, stable actions that are going to benefit humanity at first in small ways and later on in greater ones. And then the King of Swords often shows up as one of my Mr. T cards. Again, closely tied and aligned with the 17 team, and an integral part of it. The additional cards, we've got the Two of Pentacles, the Magician, love seeing that one. Queen of Pentacles, look how many pentacles showed up in this read. So it is about the gold. And yes, we have the Ace of Pentacles for our final card. We already had the messaging. It was a little subtle in here that yes, it was talking about how the Vatican has been, it's a conquest, and that particular element of this realm is going from dark to light and has been. There's been a conquest. The Two of Pentacles just talks about balancing. Again, that balancing act of bringing about change at a pace that people can deal with. And then the Magician just reassures us, and in time, there's infinite change headed our way, infinite, positive, wonderful change, which I would like to speak to about in an afterword. If you've got the slightest inclination, please stay for that, because I think it's important. And then the Queen of Pentacles talks about sovereignty. Again, a nod to the fact that we are going to be becoming sovereign, and an end to the debt slavery, uh, the realm as it was run by those that didn't have a love for or even were fully human themselves. The Ace of Pentacles was our hard yes, saying absolutely. It was just that we got the gold. Your last gambits have failed, and there has been a change. So let's recap. There was a social media post done by President Trump showing himself, it was an AI generated photo showing himself in papal regalia. The left said it was tacky and he's lost touch with reality. The right side that aren't really truly awake said, oh, okay, it was a little tacky, but it's classic Trump trolling. And then those that are in the middle there, that are awake and aware and know that there's more going on, and that both sides now engage in a lot of symbolic and coded communication, said, hey, it was a huge, huge, huge message to the deep state. And it was a statement for those that can see it, that a conquest has happened, that the Vatican has had some cleansing. Okay. And that cleansing included some removal of gold and such. Also, I know that President Trump had recently reposted something by Dr. Jan talking about the 650 plane loads of gold that have, we've heard for years, were removed from the Vatican tunneling. And because of crimes against humanity means that assets are forfeited. So that's why it wasn't just, you know, grab and run. So we asked the universe, was this the messaging we're hearing about? And we were open to additional insights and information. Now, we were getting the message that, yeah, it was an end of an era. Things have changed. It's all part of that stable military action, which is personified by what we learned from the 17 posts. When we went to the near future, just saying that even though that particular pillar of evil or the elements of that place that were evil has been dealt with. There's not going to be huge observable changes coming out as far as redistribution, things like that. It's going to be thoughtful repurposing and distribution. And but so take heart that the change has happened, that it's another huge step forward from dark to light. But I wouldn't be worrying about telling them where to ship my particular 5 pounds of gold at this point. Not yet, not yet. The near future, hugely reassuring, saying that in the near future, we're going to be able to manifest things much faster, much more fully, and to the benefit of all humanity. And we got the Ace of Pentacles showing us the hard yes to our answer, which we'd already gleaned from other elements of the cards. So there we have it. We looked at a current event, we looked at some data about it, and then we went a little esoteric with the tarot cards to see if there was more information. And indeed, as usual, there was. That's it for the political elements of this video. I do have an afterward, as I said, as I was working with the cards. I would love to have everybody stay for, but if you're just here for the politics and the information from the tarot cards about a current event, that concludes that. And I wish you well. And if you'd love to receive it, I would love to send you love, light, and everything bright. Until next time. Now, if you stayed, and I hope you did, I only get a small viewership on my monthly meditations, and that's fine. It's something I do from the heart. There's no ad revenue or anything with it. And I get a cadre of people that are really interested in sharing energy in a way that's protected and makes positive change. Now, I'm saying that because we discussed something in my meditation video, which only has between 1 and 2,000 typically viewers, that I want to be in the collective consciousness in a much wider range. There was a discussion about how we're told that our world is going from dark to light, that this realm, this place and time we're in is going from dark to light. And we discussed the thought that we've been programmed maybe by those that don't have the best interests of humanity, that there's an equal distribution of dark to light, that it's 50-50. And even the yin yang symbol usually shows 50-50 of dark to light, but when you look farther into that theory, it talks more about a unity, that there is a unity possibility going on. So I had a really great conversation with someone about that. I said, does dark to light mean it has to be equal to go from dark to light? Or what we both came up with was a harmonious balance does not require equal distribution of dark to light, and that may in fact be something that the deep state or evil wanted us to believe so that we would, with implied consent, be giving consent to having darkness or evil continue to be 50% of what is present and available energetically in the world. So here's the hypothesis that if that is true, if we've had some programming going on, because some of our programming is very lengthy, extended, and subtle in times. If it resonates with you that a harmonious balance doesn't require an equal distribution, let's start picturing dark to light being the dark actually reducing. And for those of you that are familiar with physical fitness, the analogy we used in our discussion in my meditation was how a barbell, you could have a barbell that has one weight on one side of it and then four weights on this side of it. It's out of balance if you keep the balance point in the middle. But if you move it down, you can still achieve that harmonious balance by moving the balance point. Doesn't require 50-50 to still find a way to be in balance. And I think that's what I would like more people to start visualizing is an actual permanent reduction of evil energy, darkness, negativity, with the light proportionally being greater, and then a harmonious balance so that the elements of this plane of existence will still have some elements of negativity, what have you, that it can be dealt with, handled. So it won't be like, what is this evil energy? We've never encountered it. No, it's just a small proportion of what has to be dealt with as part of the harmonious balance of the whole. So let's start thinking that way, that dark to light is happening, but let's remove that assumption that dark is 50% and light is 50%. Harmonious balance doesn't require that. So that was what I wanted to share with a little wider range of people than was had just via my meditation video. That's it for this video, and I thank you for staying to the end. And I hope what I said made some sense to you, and you can get on board too, and we can make that reality the one we have. A world that truly is going not just from dark to light, but light where there's more and more light than there is darkness. Until next time, thank you very much for watching. And if you'd like to receive it, I send you love, light, and I wish for you everything bright. Bye.